ayegba Weblu ayegba over. Aje di weblu ayegba ngoyo. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Nyongere kuanyai. Mama welu ajiwe o. Nyongere nyaya. Mama welu. Nyongere nyayo. Mama welu ajiwe o. Nyongere kuanyai. Mama welu. Nyongere nyayo. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Ile kuwa be kwanyo kwa mama welu ajiwe o. Ile kuwa be bro o. Mama welu. Mora Irepoa, she is the national president of the Greenville Association in the U.S. I said, you know what? National vice president of the Greenville Association in the U.S. What's up? Panto do da wana oh. What's up? Kaya wa mo bia nawe. Anta ya pa mo bia nawe. Babla o. Jabla edu say. Jabla edu say lawo. DJ Chris Queer. General Secretary of the Greenville Association in the America. Mama welu. No news more, no to watch. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Go dead Manuel. Mama welu. Tumba blai ba. Mama welu. When you break yes you come now. Mama welu. Pantudo, Vice President of the Bowa Ameno. They could do my poeking. One I see, oh. Number one I see, oh. Number one I see, I'm here for one. They're not to be that one, oh. They're going to move. Number one I see, oh. Oh, to buy like Mama Welu, Ajiwe, oh. Mama Welu. Patrick Bolu, that one. Mama Welu. Achi right, that one. Mama Welu. Olofi debe dawo. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Dale bali dawo la o. Mama welu ajiwe o. Nyongere nyaya. Mama welu. Nyongere nyaya o. Mama welu ajiwe o. Nyongere nyaya. Mama welu. Nyongere nyaya o. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Aje wandi na babu. Eske John Drayu. Maduwe. Mama welu. Your dog, Mama Welu, your dog, Mama Welu, what's up? Mama Welu, what's that you read that one? Oh, yeah, Mama Welu, yeah, Mama Welu. Babu Mane, Sunil, I read you do it, the Pibiam. When you're there, I got Debbie Reed. So say you then when I know so well, oh, no, say be a player, and say, now you're gone. A quantity, the poor black run your car. I say, you are black run your car, Mama Welu, Ajiwe, oh, DGA, Mama Welu. Yeah, move, Mama Welu, Ajiwe, oh, yeah. The association man, are you in a building? This is a special song for the men, eh? Mama Welu. Let us join the women. Mama Welu. To put Grandida back on the map. Mama Welu. Together we stand, divided we fall. Mama you are what I pour. Mama you are what you are going to be. You look where you break from your look, they are for we. Put God first in anything you do, then your plan will succeed. Oh yes. I did it. I did it. Nyongere nyayo. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Mama welu ajiwe o. Madere. Yeah. Secretary General of the Bowa Ameno, Emma Sawanja, Samson Kwa Jr., the Metro Slam. What's up? Anthony Baya Gwen Senior, President of the Bowa Ameno, they could do my quaking. Goloko, Ufa S. Sunny, Mom, I know where I am. Eres Bar, I see a dear, the Abuamo. Abion basi ye uja. Ya o basi ye uja. Busi ku e busi o. North Dakota damua. Osa. Fago North Dakota. Yamu. USA. UGAA convention. Osa.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Babu we ya uja si.
Mama welu.
Daisi aje diambu amu.
Mama welu.
Daisi aje diambu amu o.
Mama welu.
You saw my once my mo privilege.
Mama welu.
Osa.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Tuka nene nyaga ma osie. Eight ball fende ka fenya nyonde. Osa. Nathaniel Slam.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Oh, ble mama welu. Ble. Tu den mo
welu ajiwe o.
Mo no e.
Mama welu.
Tuba kai kwa o. Kire boy duwe kai we. Iduwe kai we.
Mama welu.
Mana iduwe kai we.
Mama welu.
Eh mo kan yisiebo.
Mama welu.
Kan yisiebo. Awo mo kan yisiebo.
Mama welu.
Bla nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere nyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere mu anyai o.
Mama welu.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere nyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
It's marvelous, George.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu. Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Yege. Double bla patri ni le nyon sa se bla ne. Tuba bla kwa we. Do dan mo no anyo we dan mo no. Do bla ja US nde.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere nyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere mu anyai o.
Mama welu.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere nyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Nigeria Association in America. Raw elections, free contest. Fago North Dakota, 2024. Here we come, eh? There you go there. Ajedi, we blow ayegbe o. We blow ayegbe o. Ajedi, we blow ayegbe o.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere nyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Nyongere mu anyai.
Mama welu.
Ah nyongere nyai o.
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Ile po abe kwa yon kwa.
Mama welu ajiwe o.
Mama ile po abe bro
Mama
o.
welu.
Mother Irepoa, she is the national president of the Greenville Association in the U.S.
Mama welu.
I said, you know what? National vice president of the Greenville Association in the U.S. What's up?
Mama welu.
Pato do that one oh. What's up? Ya wa mo bia na we. Anta ya pa mo bia na we. Bla bla o. Ya bla edu say ya bla edu say la o. DJ Chris Queer, General Secretary of the Greenville Association in the America.
Mama welu.
No news more, no to a
Mama
chance.
welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Go there, Manuel.
Mama welu.
Tumba bla igba.
Mama welu.
When you break your yes, you come now.
Mama welu.
Pantudo, vice president of the Bowa Ameno, they could do my quaking. Ever one I see, one I see, one I see, oh. Ever one I see, one I see, one I see, oh. Ever one I see, I'm here for one. They're not to a better one, oh. They're going to move, ever one I see, oh. Oh, to buy like
Mama welu ajiwe o. Mama welu.
Patrick Bolu that one.
Mama welu.
Achi right that one.
Mama welu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's another brand new edition of Voice of SINOE coming your way from these United States of America. Please, again, as you join the show, please share.
I get one thing, now babu, SK John try you. What do it? I want your dog, your dog. What's up? But then you read that one out.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, SINOE County premier platform is coming your way from these United States of America. Please do us a favor as you join the show. Please share. Yeah, this is the platform that brings you the hottest topics around the world. Yes, we're going to be going into the wahala at LDEAD in Liberia.
Yeah, move. Yeah, association man. Are you in a building? Yeah.
What's going on in SINOE County? See erosion at unkempt city, making the residents of SINOE County or Greenville uncomfortable.
This is a special song for the men, That'll join the women.
Yes, the long-standing majority of the African National Congress, ANC, in South Africa has been brought
back on the map. Together we stand, divided we fall. Put God first in anything you do, then your plan will succeed. Oh yes.
Yes, at the LDEAD, is that insubordination or superior dominance?
I did it.
Yeah, on the show today, we're going to be doing a shout out to my daughter who is graduating today, Joann Hamadu. Yeah, the education of our ladies, especially, or the young people of Liberia, educating our women. You know, the people say when you educate the children, or especially the girl child, you educate a whole village. Okay, so my daughter again is coming out of high school, going to university pretty soon.
I'm going to hear it. The first minute. General of the Boa Manu, Demon Sawanja, Samson Kwa Jr., the Metro Slam. What's up? Anthony Baya Gwen Senior, President of the Boa Manu, the Kudu Makweke, Goloko, Ufa S. Sunny, Come on, young
yeah, we're going to be talking about the wahala at LDEAD in Liberia. What is going on? The guys that's supposed to enforce the drugs law in the country, they are fighting. Yeah, in my family, I got all of them, the girls, the ladies are scouts.
North Dakota Damua. Osa. Fago North Dakota. Yamu. USA. DGAA.
Yeah, special shout out to Joann Hamadu again. You know, I'm excited every time I see the children of SINOE, the children of Liberia, they are doing good. It makes me happy. So my daughter is getting out of high school, going to Nome University. Joann. I hear somebody, what is she going to study? I'll tell you shortly.
What's up?
Yeah, following the show is the first lady of Voice of SINOE, Bolu. That's how I put the esoteric. I'm also saying the Secretary General of the United States Association in Americas, J. Kirewe Tote, is following the show as well.
Nathaniel Slam.
If you are following the show, all you have to do is comment and we will recognize you. Yeah, the great Sagacious is backstage right now. My co-host from Liberia. This is an anomaly. Usually Sarah is backstage before Sagacious, but this time around Sagacious is backstage. But I know why the anomaly happened, because Sarah in the chat room says raining. All cats and dogs in SINOE County, Greenville. All right, guys, we have to be on time. It's 5 minutes after the hour, and so we have to get the show going here. Let me get to my talking points. Bring my man backstage from backstage, Sagacious, and we can start the show here. You can join us later if you whatever you are. If you are not present right now, you can follow the show anytime you listen to the replay. But at this time, I have the honor to bring on camera my co-host Sagacious from Liberia. Hey, Sagacious.
Yeah, let me say good evening from my end. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon to all of our viewers and listeners, depending on the location. I'm happy on the static. You know, it's a call today, but this we say we will do a high level of professionalism, dedication, and commitment. We have to be objective in the discharge of our duty. And I'm honored to join the Voice of SINOE in the Diaspora. This Thursday edition, to share the platform, bring those relevant information for public consumption.
Excellent, excellent. So Sagacious, where are you right now? In the nation capital?
Well, yes, I'm enjoying what the nation's capital brings in all of its activities. But fair enough to say, there is a high cost of living. The upper part of Liberia as compared to the rural. So it's not an easy one, but we are going by God's grace.
Okay, all right. So how is the city? What's going on? What's happening right now in the country?
Too many things to talk about, but let's narrow it down fresh to our county SINOE. As you may be aware, when the we-are-led government leadership came to an end after the just ended 2023 general presidential election, the president issued an order dissolving most of the government, I should say, all of the government officials to include city mayor and the like. and SINOE County was no exception. And so, as I speak currently, we are privileged to have had our superintendent. I was looking at the Facebook development officer. We used to refer to as development superintendent. I got to understand that one of the contestants in electoral district number 2, federal court, remember he contested twice, if not twice, but 3 times he contested against the late J. Namwi's law. Then when the J. Namwi's law was taken away by death and the vacancy was created, he also contested against the Cuban Samson Weir in the by-election. He wasn't fortunate. He also contested again in the 2023 election. He was not also fortunate. So, being a strong member of the ruling Unity Party, he has been nominated by His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka to serve as development officer, otherwise known as the development superintendent of SINOE County. Let's see how it goes as it relates to his confirmation, because nomination is just one thing, but the Senate holds the power to confirm or to reject a nominee. Let please hope he works things out with the SINOE Legislative Caucus and other senators to ensure that he's confirmed, and that's a very good news for us. But again, the city mayor of Greenville City have not been appointed, even though during the Weir-led government, when we had the city mayor, the city of Greenville was still dirty. At least to talk about, we don't have a mayor now. It's saddening to see. Our city is very, very dirty, and so the superintendent, in his wisdom, has called for a general cleanup exercise. In fact, he has written communication to certain group of individuals. Who areas are very, very, very bad up to have the area clean before the general cleanup exercise. I think that is laudable on his part. And there were too many questions. Is the superintendent acting as a mayor? Is he serving dual capacity? But yeah, again, we don't have, the mayor. And Sayer Pole and all of our viewers, Greenville is being wiped away. And this should be, and that's where it's called to permanent eminent sons of SINOE. I don't like to say leaders, because too many times we want to say, the leaders. We have to get involved. Sometimes we have to mount the pressure. For us as journalists, we got to bring these tough talking things. Get the leaders involved, ring the bell in the ear, because we are the watchdog society. Greenville is being wiped away by the sea erosion. Before the general and presidential election of 2023, we heard of the Coastal Defense Project. We were told that money has been secured by the government of Liberia for the Coastal Defense Project. On 2 or 3 occasions, people were sent in the county to do some inspection. I was told there was a bid. Dr. Thomas Romeo Kuya applied to take the project, and Negatu's Right, who is also a former journalist, he also applied, but Negatu's Right won the bid. He went to SINOE. There were survey conducted, but up to this date, we are not seeing, the implementation, seeing people trying to not defend, the sea from encroaching on the land. So as we speak,
Sigesha, before we go into detail, I just wanted to give opening remarks, which is pretty good. So we're going to go more in detail, in depth with some of the topics, but those are talking points that you are highlighting. And we're going to go into that. But what you just said with Patrick Ford is the breaking news, so we're going to be right back to tell people more. All right, suggestion. I want you to break the news again. I understand you said this gentleman was appointed or nominated to be.
He was nominated as the development officer of SINOE County, previously known as the assistant superintendent for development. He's on a federal court. He contested at least 3 times in electoral district number 2. He is from Jepo district. I mean, same district as the late Jane Amos Law, same district as the late Kate Morris, same district as Representative Samson Kuju, where, yeah, they all from the same region. In fact, the former fiscal affairs superintendent, Avin Wise, is also from the Jilipo people. And so the Jilipo people enjoy government position too in our county.
All right, nice. Okay, yeah, I followed Fetcher Court campaigns in Savannah County. Like you rightly said, he was relegated twice. You know, but I kind of like the guy. First of all, you know, he's pleasant looking. I haven't met him in person, but he looks very well. Let's see. So the guy, he has to be confirmed.
He hasn't been confirmed. He was just nominated by the president days back. I think there's a chance set for, his confirmation hearing. We're going to investigate that when is his confirmation hearing, and we pray and hope that he will be confirmed if he have all of the requisite experience. Remember, the Unity Party government say it comes with the agenda. You have to be quiet. You got to be experienced before serving the government. So the Senate is also taking into consideration, because it is incumbent upon all of us to support the agenda of the government. So when the government says, it is key interest in, people being competent, people being qualified to serve certain position, I think the Senate will also take that into consideration.
All right. Okay, let's go more. It was a breaking news, so I just thought to start with that. I want us to warm up this way. You see, my daughter, one of my daughters, the father of girls. So one of my daughters graduated today. So her name Joann is graduating today. The other day we have a prom. That's something that the American people for high school, they have to dress nice, they rent these fancy cars, they go somewhere like a bar, and they have fun. So that was the prom event. So Joann is graduating today, so graduation ceremony today in Liberia. And I want to say congratulations to her. Yes, we worked for the prom program the other day. It was wonderful program, and her friends, she's very, very friendly, and so is her mother, and so they know a lot of people. The people came from everywhere. The city of Sharon Hill in Pennsylvania, the whole block, to her, to celebrate her prom. So her friends came from everywhere. It was a wonderful program, and we just want to say congratulations to Joann. Joann, one of the probably the university in Pennsylvania, and it's called Lumen. I think university going one of our studies, and that's the thing. She's currently there right now, pursuing a baccalaureate or bachelor degree in nursing. So let's see how it plays out. But that's why they can have multiple choices of schools that they want to go to. But Lumen is at the top right now for what I learned. All right, so that's something I just want to start at your way. If you want to do a shout out to her, I just want to that.
So yeah, these are special occasions that we like to recognize people, especially so. Having a zest to have quality education. It's not an easy thing. Waking up to study at night. It's not an easy task. Everyone who passed through the wars of secondary school know what it takes, and seeing her walking out, it's a very good thing for all of us. I would like to say congratulations to her. I also like to say thank you. If not for your support, I don't think she would have reached this far. I want to say thank you to you and your wife, and we pray that your support continue. And thank God say you're in women. In Africa, where
what does it mean to be women?
In Africa, I see you guys from high school, you own your own.
But listen to me, remember, from high school, you own your own.
so on your own there. So she's on her own.
No, we are African, so we don't do the white people thing.
Well, thank you, and I saw the smile on your face. I saw the photo that day. I saw some video. I saw the smile on your face. It tells a whole lot. I mean, that's a problem. You know, if she had gone the other way, I don't think that smile would have been placed on your face. But seeing her progressing as female, I mean, being productive, I mean, it says a whole lot. So one day when Saya put her owner, and you know, he got a case who have already been prepared.
I already have people got in America shining already. When the girls are going to college now, they say I still young man.
Yeah, but you told me what you say, you old man. Say you old man.
Yeah, I old man. So on the field, though, I'm happy to see the U.S. right sagacious. That's how we say because the United States the land of plenty, right? So whatever you want to do here, you got to go for it. You know, if you want to be the best smoker, you can be the best smoker. You know, you want to be the best thief here, you can be. But the downside about those things is when you are caught, you're done. You know, so they get the good side, the bad side, everything is top locked here. So if you want to go and get how many degrees is put on the opportunity. So the girls, they have the opportunity, they have the opportunity to get any degree that they want to. And I'm happy that they are looking in that direction. All right, let's move on to something else. Well, that's a good thing to start to do it. It looks like Sarah is not going to join us today because of the weather, I think, because she was complaining about the weather conditions.
I'm a little bit experiencing similar, but I think I can manage the situation. You know, we are in the rainy season here in Liberia. Okay. You know what it is. Normally the rain comes fall heavily, but I think we can manage the situation to have our people informed.
Let's get to the first thing about this breaking news as well. I mean, about this African election. So let's be right back. Let me play this. All right, guys. Welcome to Voice of SINOE here with Esoteric and Sagacious. I think my picking frozen over there. All right, so the breaking news that we want to share with you is South Africa. They just had a parliamentary and presidential election recently, about a week ago, and ANC, which is the African National Congress, she has been the ruling party in South Africa for the past 30 years. All right. And that the majority of ANC, this time around, they were not able to garner the number of votes to maintain their rule or the absolute majority in the country, because Africa is almost like America, right? In America, to be declared as president, you need a minimum of 70 electoral college of votes, whereas in South Africa you need 201. And so the NEC, not the ANC, they didn't get the 201 votes in the parliament. So what it do when you get the 201, then the lawmakers are supposed to work and elect who will be the president to lead the country. You know, that's why it is. Well, right now the ANC they fell below the 201, and so they were able to garner 159 votes. All right, what happened? So right now they need a lot of options. These people are going up and talk on the South African election in the first place. Let me not go ahead. But go ahead.
Is it?
The South African election, you follow it?
Yeah, I've not been following the election of late. Fair enough, I've not been following the election of late. Yes, But I think I would do a little follow up, but I have not been following the South African elections.
Okay, so like I was saying, ANC since the 90s, you got the ANC, the African National Congress, it's the party of the great liberation fighter Nelson Mandela. You know, yeah. So when apartheid was overthrown in the 90s, about 94, when Nelson Mandela came. He was a man of peace. So what he did was he established what we call a government of national unity. So the apartheid regime at the time, he brought the guy who was in power, declared he deputy president. You know, so honored Nelson Mandela, the country called a rainbow nation, where he brought all the people together. After Mandela, Thabo Mbeki came and other guys up to Jacob Zuma, and now we have Cyril Ramaphosa. You know, so the ANC has been leading South Africa. Recently, the recent election has shown something different. All right. So first of all, you have the two opposition party, or three, I should say. Then you have the Democratic Alliance, which is the like the white party in Africa. And then you have the EFF, which basically is offshoot of the ANC because it's Julius Malema's party. You know, he was part of the ANC before. Then recently another party was established by the former president, Jacob Zuma, which is the MK party. You know? So the DA is the second biggest party of contender in South Africa, followed by EFF, but EFF now has gone to full place because MK party took over. You know? So now, what is trending right now is since the ANC did not get the 201 vote to serve a leadership, and the Constitution says that after election, 2 weeks, the president selected by the parliament. Now, the quandary that Ramaphosa, the ANC, is facing right now is which party they're going to align with. Because the DA, the possibility of the DA has 89 votes. Let me look at my stats here to give the number. I will look at the numbers. So DA got more numbers and the ANC. So again, the ANC got 159 votes in parliament, right? That's what we look. And then followed by the DA 87 votes of seats in parliament, and the MK has 8 seats in parliament, followed by the EFF 39 seats in parliament. Right? For the ANC to get the number of votes they need for the 2 votes, right? To get 201 votes. But which party are they going to align with? Are they going to take one party and go with that party, or they're going to get everybody on board? So one possibility is to go with the DA. But to get you, just put yourself on mute. Yeah, it's a background noise. Okay, good. All right, so they could go with a DA, right? But then the likelihood is not there, at least from our perspective, because ideologically the ANC and the DA, they are on 2 spectrum, right? Because the DA is a pure capitalist party, believing capitalism as free market enterprise, and the ANC is kind of somewhat left. The left lane is not far left, but it's on the left. And the DA is, again, free market, basically capitalism. So the possibility there is slim. But when you look at the MK and the ANC, they are closer, but they might not go with the Jacob Zuma and the president. They can't get along. Cyril Ramaphosa, they are serial rivals, you know. So the ANC might not likely to lean to form a coalition with the MK. The EFF is possible, yeah, because the EFF is a left-leaning party, even though it's far left, but the ANC is also left, you know. But the only possibility I see, it will be a government of national unity to bring all the parties on board, right? So that, because if you take, say, for example, the DA controls only one part of the country. And so the whole country will not be represented. So from the look of things, the last article that I just read before we got online, the ANC is forming a government of national unity where all the major parties will have a stake in the government, you know. Yeah, that's what they're going to do possibly. Yeah, from the look of things. But you know, that's politics. You know, you just, if you want to get everything, you might not. If you want to get everything to yourself, you might more likely. That's the current president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa. Yeah, but I like the guy though. I mean, he's kind of easygoing guy. He's he's level-headed. It's just that he's a sort of, him and Donald Trump, they are in the same bracket, very rich guy, right? Yeah, he's rich, so sometimes they're in their own little world. But let's see how it plays out. It's an interesting political dynamics now in South Africa, where the ANC majority has been broken. Yeah, so let's see how it plays out moving forward. If you have any thoughts, go ahead.
So now for now, until I follow up on the elections.
Okay.
On the elections.
Okay, so now let's go to the next thing that we have for discussion today on the show. It's another big one. Let me get to that. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so the next thing as I want to talk about here is the development from the U.S. I think hopefully you follow that development as well. That has to do with the conviction of the president, former president of the U.S., Donald Trump. The case against him, one of the cases, many cases against him, about 90 some more. And so one of the cases against him has to do with they call it the hush money tribe in New York. You know, so what that means is there was 34 counts against him. Hush money basically is where investigations you did something right and you get money, or you don't want somebody or the public to know about it. So for you to keep quiet, you go and pay somebody, you pay that person you did something to, and then you keep for the person to remain quiet. So a long time ago, Donald Trump, President Trump, had an affair with an actress called, her last name is, her full name, as a matter of fact, Stormy Daniels. He had an affair with the lady, but he was contested in the 2016 election, and he didn't want the public to know about it. So what he did was to pay that lady off for the actress. He paid the lady $130,000 and for quiet. You know, but I know the U.S. their election, their system is complicated, right? So when the lawsuits and everything started coming against him, one of the things the lawsuit did was that payment that was made to Stormy Daniels, he documented that as legal fee, you know. So when he submitted the documents and the people went into scrutinization, they found out that he falsified his document, you know. So he falsified a document. That's a serious crime in the U.S. If you falsify stuff, I mean you are lying, right? So they had 34 counts against him, and regular citizens They were the jurors, and the lawyer made a case, and the prosecutor they made a case, and jurors they found merit in the prosecution case. You know, their argument, they found merit in it. So all 34 counts, felony counts against President Trump. Now, each of those counts is like 4 years, possibly 4 years in prison. But again, investigations, the people say, oh, everybody is equal under the law. That is not true. You know, they will say all those things. Everyone is equal under the law. Everyone is not equal. This guy has been, so the picture, for example, that I put up here is the mock shot for him, right? When people get a feedback from institution, you want to put the several views. Yeah, you put your device on when you're ready to talk and you can unmute yourself. So this is the mock shot of the president. Imagine somebody taking a mock shot in coat suit. Think about it. I mean, you have people that Bill Cosby, they are rich people in the country, R. Kelly, those people. They went to prison, they did not take picture in coat suit. But you know, they are certain privileged class in this country. Certain people in certain class, you get certain treatment. And so one of them is Donald Trump. The man committed a crime. As a matter of fact, a lot of, I mean, like the Capitol riot, when they went to the Capitol building and they ransacked that whole place. He was beyond all of that, you know, and all the charges on him, and the man is going to take his picture and he's in court suit. It can't happen to anybody else in the country but Donald Trump, you know. So that what I said from the beginning, there is no, when somebody says we are all equal under the law, that is not true. Certain people, they are above the law, and this is a clear example. As a matter of fact, Mr. Trump will not go to jail for whatever he did. No, they will find something different for him to do because he's a special man, you know. So justice, those of us that fall at the bracket, the lower bracket of the economic ladder, you have to walk your Liberia male say walk chalk line, right? Just follow the law and do the right thing. Because once you go against the law will treat you different, and Donald Trump got different treatment. And so right now, I think July the 11th will be sentencing. All right. So we don't know what sort of sentence he goes to jail, or he might do community service, something like that. But it can happen to a regular man. If they're a regular man, but now they got that yellow suit, that orange suit on you, they do your mock job, or Donald Trump is taking picture in court suit, even though he commit a crime. This is not a civil offense, it's a criminal offense. 34 of them. And in total, he got about 94 against him. This is the first one, and he's guilty already. And again, United States, and that why United States, the respect U.S. used to have around the world is radically going down because the way things have been done in this country, you know, you get two systems of justice here, one for the big guys and one for the little men, right? So it's unfortunate. And for the local things, the guys who are still putting on a ballot to run for office in the country. It can't happen to anybody that easily, sagacious. You can't commit a crime and then you still run for office in the country. Even the Donald Trump man, when Obama was the president, he was on a man badge. Obama is not the president of the United States. The guy he was forced to even put his birth certificate also to prove that he's a U.S. citizen, you know. But he's doing all these different shady things, and the Republicans are still supporting him to bring him to be the president of the country, you know. And when he runs, he might be more likely to win because the other old man in the Capitol building, he's horrible. I mean, when I see Capitol in the White House, he's horrible. Joe Biden is a horrible guy, you know. I mean, right now he's sending billions of dollars and guns and ammunition to Israel to kill the Palestinians. That's what they're doing over there, you know. So he's a horrible guy. You know, the economy in the U.S. is horrible, and that's why the Republicans, they are trying to bring Donald Trump back because they want money. So Donald Trump will come and do deregulation, cut taxes for the rich guys. You know, they barely pay taxes here anyway. So they want to bring him so they can cut taxes and they basically compound their wealth, to get more money. That's why they bring it down to Trump, and do different things. It's crazy, my opinion. The country, if you understand the politics, the way things are done in the country, and you'll be like, wow, what's going on? When it comes to the little man, they will do everything to fight. They will do everything. So get your thing about it, right? A country that is the richest in the world. This country cannot send our citizens to school free. You pay taxes, but when you talk about free education, they say no. But guess what? When the big guys squander money, when they go bankrupt, when they broke, then the government will come and give them billions of dollars. But they say, okay, there are students right now. A lot of us here, we have massive student loan. When they say, oh, let's do student loan forgiveness, they say, hell no, they're not going to bail you out. They fight. Donald Trump, as a matter of fact, he sent people to the Supreme Court. The case went there. They say, you know what? For at least I give to Joe Biden for student loan forgiveness for the student. And Donald Trump judges, people that he appointed to the Supreme Court, they blocked that. They say, hell no, we don't want the students' student loan to be forgiven. And so I'm saying this to tell you that there are different systems of justice in the country. When the guys make a mess, the big guys, they can give them billions of dollars, but they say no socialism. They give them money. All right, so that's the case of Donald Trump. Let's see how it goes. But this is a major development in the U.S. though, because for a former president to be declared guilty, criminal charges, 34, it's a major one. All right.
But it's mind-boggling. Is there a provision in the Constitution there? I mean, forbidden, because if you are a felony, according to our own Liberian Constitution, if you are guilty of criminal offense, constitutionally you are not allowed to run for public office. And I'm of this conviction that Liberia, like we did copy and paste from the American Constitution, even the flag and whatever, try to see. Like what
we did exactly. We literally plagiarized. Even your national anthem, you just change the word honor God, but everything else is just a word, Patrick, you want to join the show? I just send the link. Look through your messenger if you want to participate. I just send the link. Just follow the link. It does. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next thing that I want to talk about here today on the show. All right, let's see. I'm seeing Patrick backstage here. Hopefully he'll get settled down. Yeah, Patrick.
What's up, man? Please, Doug, right? No quarrying.
Yeah, your voice is fine. We are hearing you. That's why important.
Thank you very much. Let me salute my colleague Sagacious. Sagacious, thank you.
What's up, Mr. B?
Yeah. Wow.
So what is your take, Patrick, on the training discussion right now? What is your take?
Okay, so I just joined and I met the Trump's guilty verdict on. So I don't know. That was the first point you talked about.
Yeah. We'll talk about South Africa first, and then Trump.
Okay, so let me do South Africa. South Africa is experiencing a huge wave of change in politics and governance at the moment. Since the end of apartheid in 1994, from tracing to the mansion, that slogan, that led Mandela to, the executive mansion of South Africa. And since then, his ANC, the party he formed, from Rhode Island, from Rhode Island, where he was incarcerated, kept dominating the political scene, winning majority seats since 1994. So 30 long years, the ANC has been has been, winning and has been dominating parliament and the executive. So for the first time, and this is what causes the whole split. Jacob Zuma's entry into the process, into the race, following his own legal hurdles and and all of that. Coming back, and the people, dissuading themselves from ANC towards his MKP party, I think a new beginning, and I think we could see a loss on grip in the next election. If not losing the executive, but I'm very optimistic that ANC will not gain the presidency in the next election if the coalition government is formed. Yeah, but who it brings on board now is an issue, because if you bring the second man, the second main opposition party, into your coalition, of course, a power sharing, you have to give it something better. The same thing been happening in Zimbabwe. It happened in Zimbabwe. It also happened somewhere in another African country. It should be Kenya, somewhere. So it's a tough time for South Africa governance system, and let's see how it works out, how it plays out there between the ANC and all the other three political parties, including the Malema. Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's my hunch is they're going to form a government of national unity. That's what I'm looking at. Yes, because once the ANC goes with one party, they could go with the DA and they get the number that they need to get the president elected, but then they will not be in charge of the whole country. So in order to get the country on board, they need to get all the major parties that garner more numbers, parliamentary numbers on board, so they can give them some sort of stake in the government. That way, the whole country will be represented. But if you just take one party, for example, they could take EFF, because EFF and ANC ideologically they are similar. But then EFF does not have 40 or 42 votes, so they will have to bring another party to accumulate the required numbers. But it's a tough situation right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And what it does, in fact, the formation of a coalition government, what it does, most likely is that it always causes a deadlock. There's always a stalemate. And, the majority, especially with the ANC losing, hold of the majority in parliament, will always be a destabilizing, government. Because, for example, it happened in Zimbabwe. You saw the coalition government formed, during the Mugabe's era with the then finance minister, if I not finance minister, but the main opposition. The main opposition leader at the time, and we saw it in Kenya also, Raila Odinga and the former ruling government forming a coalition and all of that. So I think it will create a situation in South Africa where there will be serious political hurdles, especially when it comes to the president's vision going through parliament. We're going to see a big fight, and that fight is a redemption of South Africa from what we used to have here in Liberia as a two-way dominance, of Liberian politics. Yeah, I think that's what happened in South Africa.
All right. So, but what do you make of the conviction of President Donald Trump?
Well, let me say what is happening right now in the U.S. I think American democracy is on a siege. Yeah. It's on a vicious attack. Never have we seen or read this in history, of an American president, ex-president, my man. The way the people honor the president in that country, the way they respect they respect their leaders. For America to condescend that at this level in the 21st century, it only sends a signal to to China, you know, that China get ready, Russia get ready. Anytime perhaps you could take over global leadership from America because of the way things are going. To some, they call it justice. They call it, some say no one is above the law. Some say, but the thing is that, you know, I don't know what those prosecuting Trump, I don't know what they stand to gain, but I think it teaches nothing anyway, because I know right after conviction, in less than 24 hours to raise more than 50 million, in solidarity, just people giving you money. So it teaches nothing. And besides that, there's a perfect precedent for this whole thing. In the 1920s election, the Socialist Party candidate, they call him, his last name is De Beers. Yeah. I think Ava De Beers. Yeah, Va De Beers. Yeah, it's Va De Beers. So that got it right. Va De Beers. So he ran from prison, from a prison cell. He ran his campaign, you know, from his prison cell, and he got 10% of the votes, you know, across the union. So whether Trump is convicted or as he will be sentenced on the 11th of July, if he's sentenced finally and he's sent to jail, I'm not sure he will be barred from contesting, because the Constitution calls for only three or more things. One, be a U.S. citizen, a natural-born U.S. citizen. You must have lived in the United States for 14 years, and the other requirement there. So there is nothing there that says that you can be barred from contesting based on criminal record, and that's a unique part about the U.S. Constitution. It did not say you cannot be president because you are convicted of a crime or because you committed a particular act. We saw the issue there with Clinton, right? The Clinton scenario is a perfect stuff. Some of these scandals don't really change anything. We saw Watergate, right? Even though Nixon was forced to resign under pressure, but so many horrible things have happened in American democracy, and the people survive. So
Patrick, to say that the conviction of Trump, it will not make. I understand the argument you're making, or he has raised money. We understand about, guess what, the independent voters, the position, the idea, the notion that they had of Trump before he has changed since the verdict came out. You know, because there are people that are on the fence here. They call them independent. You know, so yeah, convicting the man, it has changed their mind. They are thinking something different right now, and they don't even know whether Trump will go to jail or not. But even if Trump does not go to jail and he runs for president, like you already indicated, there are countries around the world already that kind of, they don't respect America, basically. So if you put a convicted man in a White House, what sort of message are you sending to the world? You know, what message are you sending? That means you are exacerbating the disrespect the people they have for you. You know, that's what it means. So I don't know how you're going to go sagacious. There are other candidates here, but because of the two-party system they have here in the country, they have grip on the country. So people hardly pay attention to the other parties, you know. Just the same way in China, they have all political parties, but other parties, you barely hear about them. It's the same thing in the country.
So I've been following the conversation with Patrick and you. Yeah, so, like you rightly said, having a convicted man, for instance, as the head of the United States government, owing to the fact that the U.S., the world superpower. Remember, for example, in our country, Liberia, the United States government will ban the sanction people, and corruption. For instance, the whole feature of government in Liberia that was sanctioned for corruption. Now, if the United States government is carrying somebody who has been convicted of a crime, to be the leader of the country, so what example are we setting? It's like you telling your child, say, don't smoke, but the cigarettes are your bag, they pass over your head. And I don't think America we have the same respect that she have had from other nations. And, you know, if that is done.
Yeah. So there are people here that say, the verdict was politically motivated, all those different things. You know, that's what it's saying here. But it would be a bad precedent to set in this country to send Donald Trump to the White House with conviction charges. You know, and I mean, come on, it has happened before, but it's not at the presidential level. People can go to prison, they come from there, they go as representative lawmaker, they have historical example. But for the presidency, there's no historical example where somebody was convicted of crime, the person goes to jail, and then they run for office. Nothing to that effect, you know. But in this case, Trump's not even gone to jail, and the Republicans, they are adamant, they are pushing the guy, like Patrick just mentioned. Immediately the verdict was announced. The guy raising more money for him. Imagine that. The campaign started raising a lot of money. I don't know. Like Suggestion, you said, I would say that this country is going after people. I mean, they have sanctions and those different things. They're going after people. And then you have a guy who have 90 some more charges, criminal charges against him, and you are pushing him to be president of the country. I mean, come on, what moral position are you putting yourself in? Nobody going to take you seriously, you know. But go ahead if you have any thoughts. Otherwise, we can go to the next thing.
Yeah. But you are there in the United States of America. I don't know what the chances are. You know, sometimes people are involved into bad things, but when they have too many people supporting them, then the bad thing be seen as good. All right.
No, but honestly, if the guy runs, he stands a better chance of winning.
Okay.
Joe Biden is horrible. Yes, he has access to the office. You know, first of all, the people here, the economy on Joseph Burger. I mean, not Joseph Burger, but that is in Joseph people there anyway. Joe Biden, things are hard, man. The prices, gas, crazy. Everything, the inflation is killing people, right? And then compounded by that is the taxes. The minute they are taxing the crap out of you, and then everything is up there. And when you talk about, okay, when you say, oh, increase wages, they say, hell no. Okay, they're taking taxes from you, prices are going outside, they're going up. But when you see the employees, when people say, oh, we want high wages, then they say no. You know, so Donald Trump is coming and saying, you know what, I will cut taxes so that what resonating with people. He said, you know what, the price, inflation is killing you, and then he taxing the crap out of you. I am coming, I will cut taxes so that when you cut taxes, I mean more money is coming to you in your pocket. And I want people, even though he's a criminal, but they try to push him still to go there. It's about money. Yeah, that's how the country runs. It's money, money, and money. Yeah. Suggestion is frozen there, huh? Yeah, it's frozen when he gets back. So that's the issue about the U.S. election. Let me see what my man said here. Suggestion, let me see what I can try you again. You're frozen there. Yeah, Liberia. So my man, let me see my man wrote a comment here what he says. And then we can, okay, he's up now. You're frozen for a little bit, so that's why I took you down.
Yeah. I never said which one in our country.
You want to read that comment for us, if you can?
And so this comment say, Doc Saya Pula Esoteric, congratulations to your daughter, Joann Hamadu, on completion of high school education. While we celebrate your success, I can't help but reflect the pressing issue that continue to affect our communities, both in Liberia and South Africa. The fight against illegal drugs in Liberia remains a fundamental requiring efforts and resources to combat this pervasive issue. I hope that through collective action and unwavering commitment, we The other was not showing from my end.
Yeah, but yes, also I want to say thanks to Total for that thoughtful comment. All right, so now let's go to the next thing here, Sagacious. While your internet is still good, Patrick was trying to let's talk about the issue of the LDEA, the development in Liberia.
Yeah, the issue of the LDEA. Remember when the President's Excellency Joseph Yumambaka, during his first State of the Nation address, so now he declared drugs a national pandemic, and so he appointed several individuals as task force for the issue of combating drugs. And in his wisdom, in the President's wisdom, he has appointed, for example, Ibrahim Kurman, and other guys to the LDA to help in the fight of combating drugs. Fair enough to say, the way this country is proceeding with the issue of drugs, if it is not handled carefully, in the next 2 to 3 years, or we say in the next 6 years, we have many young people damaged. And instead of those who are being appointed, instead of them focusing on the issue of combating drugs, esoteric, it will surprise you if you were to take a visit to Liberia. Some of your friends, you have known. You both grow up together. You come now, they man involving the drug down, they call them Zogos and Zogis. They all get involved into drugs. Some of our friends we knew. Some of them we went to school together. They are involved into drugs. You see that you don't want to speak to them. Now the LDEA is the arm of the government that is responsible for the fight against illegal drugs. Instead of those, who have been placed over the LDEA, some of them, looking for ways to combat drugs, they are just fighting among themselves. This is a serious situation. It's alarming the country. This is not their fault. This is not the second time. And he has the latest drew, public attention. In fact, there are videos circulating in the social media, bringing Liberia to public disrepute. And in the words of the president, he suspended the 3, the LDA man, the head, the vice for administration, the vice for operation. But there is something that is smelled in. Those who are drugs or traffickers, they are money people. And those who are involved in the drugs, they both got money. And so what can happen? Maybe something like game playing somewhere. The other man want the other thing to happen, and it's not happening. Can you imagine the boss of the LDA? He asked that the guys have a meeting in office, but then he said he had a weapon, but then he instructed. Now that's not a bad thing. For he said, if you come into my office, I say leave your weapon back. Maybe that's not a bad thing, but instructing an older man, for example, to the deputy for operation, to take the gun from the man when I'm picking in the office. Something is smelling. What is the intention? Already, the people are beginning to noise. It's an open secret that Ibi Kurma and his 2 deputies, they have not been seen eye to eye. This is an open secret. In fact, it has boiled down to the honor men, because there are people who support this Ayapole, there are some people who support Patrick, there are people who support Sagasha, and that is it. People are loyal to AB, are loyal, to his 2 deputies, and it's causing now. Instead of focusing on fight on drugs now, we're focusing on the fight of those who will be fighting George. It's a very serious, very, very serious. And you saw the video. It is disgusting. It has brought our country to populist rebuild. Fair enough to say the heads of the Liberian Joint Information Agency have disgraced our country. But I think suspending them, in my wisdom, was not enough. I think the president should, fire them immediately, in my own opinion. And the suspending will happy for time definitely until investigation. But I think the both houses, that is the House of Senate and the House of
All right, Sagacious over there struggling with, let's see, what are you going to come back?
It has caused a serious embarrassment for the country. And so they will answer questions as it relates to why, there has been a fight. But I think some people feature.
Sagacious.
Yeah?
Let me play the video and see. So those are now watched. Let's play part of the video and see. Yeah, it's interesting. Let me see if I can go here. Yeah, you can just put yourself mute for now.
We're not coming to a meeting yet, and we're not having meeting yet. We're not having meeting yet. We're not meeting in the here.
Yeah, Sagacious, I want to play. I'm playing the audio because the guy AB is the director, right? He's the boss for that department. And there's a guy that actually using expletive. He cursing at the man. He's at the boys, basically insulting the man. Okay, let's play more. Let's play more. So what is wrong with your boss? Said don't come to a meeting with weapon. What was his intention for which he was cursing like that? Your boss says that no weapon. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, everybody try to put out self-defense. Fair enough to say there have been some issue with AB and his deputies. In fact, at any point in time, they nearly got into a fist fight. There have been some issues. Now, if you get going here,
there are issues, and that's why it makes sense. When you have issues, you don't go to a meeting with weapons, you know.
But AB too has the office, and AB weapon is in the office.
Yeah, but he's the boss. He's not going to shoot people. No, he's not. He just, he has to set the tone as a leader and say, you know what, there's a meeting. So when you're coming to, bring a weapon. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, you don't challenge your boss when your boss says, don't bring your gun to my office or to the meeting, and you're cursing at the man. Play the whole video. Let's see.
I'm not your office. What the fuck all you, Eddie? You got no respect to you? What the fuck all of you? You want to disrespect people yet? Go ahead. Go ahead, do rules.
You're not rules. You're on the line. You've been on the line, yes or no. As long as in DA, as law enforcement officer, I will come anywhere with gun. You didn't tell a minute.
And Fadika was in the US here. He just came from the US and he went to Liberia. He was given that job. If you follow that audio, he said he was recommended by Krumah. Krumah was the one that recommended him. And then he's challenging the man, as long as I am part of LDEAD, I will come and go anywhere. He can't do that in the US here. He can't challenge a boss like that. So I don't understand how the guys, when they go to Liberia, when they leave this country, things that they don't do here, they go over there and do them. You know, you challenge the boss here. I don't know, but you don't see this easily here. You get fired. In no time to challenge your boss and tell them and say, "Oh, I will carry my weapon." Especially at a paramilitary level, you know, because military is about democracy. It's about order. The boss to tell you what he wants, you know. So you are in a paramilitary organization, and the boss is giving you an order and say, "I don't want a weapon," and you challenge the man. But I mean, they want people to believe them or take it seriously that they are professionals, you know.
Tell me, I'm not in your office, but you cannot stop me from moving with weapon in this place here. And nobody can stop me.
Enter my office the next time. Anybody even come out of my office, not allowed. Yes, sir.
They can't even try it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the man's right. You can't. He doesn't want you and the man have issue. You guys have issue already, and you're walking around with weapon. No, but the man doesn't know your intention. So I don't want people with weapon in my office. I have no issue. I don't see anything wrong with that at all.
They can't even try. I can tell you. But you have to put me outside now. They need to come and put me outside. No, you need to be giving them order to put me outside. I'm not sweating you, AV. I'm not going to sweat you. You've been very disrespectful and unprofessional since you started here, and we've been tolerating you've been tolerating you. Wait, you won't tell me about professionalism? No, I can tell you that based on my professional judgment, you as you are, near you, in America, you can compare what I was doing. I'm a damn what mean you're a poster. You're a damn poster and a liar. Who are you?
I am.
Talking about you who? I want a damn federal agent go and check my record.
So you conduct the way you're conducting yourself here at the federal level. You go in the PO office and do what you do here, Fadika. That's crazy.
Or GR12? Or GR12? You think no? That only in front of these people, you can bullshit. Based on my professional judgment, where professional judgment? You give me this job. You employ me. You recommended me.
I said that because I thought you were a good guy, but
you're not a good human being. You are very disrespectful. You are unprofessional.
So the man is not good, but the man recommended you for a job and you're admitting, but he's not a good man. I mean, how else you want the man to be good to you? The man saw something in you, recommended you to the president to get a job, but he said, man, he's not a good man. Okay. Are you the good man who is not appreciating what the man did? All right, let's listen to your
shut the fuck up when I'm talking.
Don't do that. You do not bother you. You do not bother you.
Let's bring you to go to jail. You can't go to jail. My man will disrespect you. Every time my man will disrespect you.
My men will disrespect you.
Shut up, get the fuck out of me. Why you holding me? I gotta hold you. You holding me? I can't hold you.
The Fadika guy got anger problem. He needs anger management. I mean, you're fighting your boss and somebody's holding you and he said they should not hold you.
Why you holding me? Why you holding me? Slapping me? That's why you for me. Why you holding me? That's why you holding me. Come on, man. Come on,
What's that?
So, this is spectacular. I can't play the whole thing, but it's ridiculous. And these are the people, they call themselves rescue mission. They're coming to rescue the country. But they cannot even sit down to talk as men mature people to discuss whatever disagreement they have with each other. They are fighting like children on the playground. This go ahead. If you have any talk, go ahead. Share your thought.
And the issue is alarming. And men were armed and involved into fist fight. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. And when one person feel over crime, and they can do anything. They can do anything. It's seriously alarming. And this is an embarrassment not only to the LDA, but to us as a people and as a country. Very embarrassing. And and like you said, these are the same people that said they have come to rescue us. Now, during President Weah's administration, we noticed the entry of the drugs called Kush. While we were trying to combat Kush, during President Bouakai administration, they brought in a dangerous substance more than Kush called zombie. We're fighting a battle. The issue of drugs in our country. Yet the people responsible and to plan, sit down, craft ideas as to how they can combat illegal drugs. If not to, eliminate or eradicate drugs from the country, but to reduce it to a certain extent. These people who should be planning, putting ideas together, jointly, these are the same people fighting. So instead of fighting drugs, they're fighting among themselves.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, really embarrassing.
That is sad.
Seriously embarrassing. And the president needs to act. The president needs to act. Like that. Some people have said, the president should take one of them, get into another security department, whether LIS or Liberian police, scatter them. But it would still resolve what is happening. Why if this person, for example, Fadike, if Fadike goes to LMP and he have a boss, if actions are not taken, he will get the same, insubordination to his boss there. Right? So the president needs to act, conduct a thorough investigation into the issue. What is really happening? What led to that? Who is responsible? And appropriate action need to be taken.
No, definitely. I think I would. I don't know the full details, but from that video alone, it was clear insubordination to the boss. So I was asking insubordination or superior or dominance. Was the boss dominating the honor men, and that's what made them to do what they were doing? Because you can be in charge of people, and the way you conduct yourself, the way you treat them, it can make them to respect you or not to respect you. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what was actually going on the inside, but I know for sure something went on the inside that led the guys to have done what they did, right? But on the other hand, do wrong to not make right? So you don't conduct yourself, you don't address yourself to your boss like that, especially when he calls for a meeting, and he says, you know what, I don't want weapons here because the tension is already high. You can sense from that video that something, because it's not the first time I watched a show, the boss came on Spoon Talk one time, and he was a guest to address some of the issues that were going on. So there are a lot of things that are going on the ground already, but for Dika and the other guy, they were very disrespectful from the video. They were very disrespectful. They had premeditated thought of playing against the man already, right? You could see it from that. And I just thought, what we can do in the U.S. I wrote a piece one time and I called it the arrogance of the Liberian intellectuals, right? When Liberian man knows book, the other people around you, they don't know nothing. And it's sad. We gotta humble ourselves. The fact that the way people book, it doesn't mean that there is no way that you can know everything. Obama down here, they went to school, they got all these degrees here, but the guys are humble, But Liberian men know something. And like they on top of nobody else. No, that's what's going on in the office. So you can hear from Fadika. Oh, who are you? You know what I was doing in America? I was federal this. Okay, you federal this, so you don't respect your boss in Liberia. The man you are admitting that he recommended you to the president, but then you turn it around, he's not a good man. Okay, the man is not a good man. He recommended you for a job, and you got the job, but you had the audacity to attack the man physically. I mean, that says a lot about the brother. You know, it says a lot about him. People are pointing finger at the boss, and in that video, I mean, I didn't get a lot from him because those guys were cursing him out. They were ready to do whatever. You know, the guys would say, "I'll carry my gun anywhere I want to carry my gun." You talk to the boss like that in a military setting and that way, or paramilitary environment. So, like I already said, a military, right? It's not democracy. The boss tells you and you have to do it, or else you'll be disciplined. Yeah, Patrick trying to join again, but his device is not connected yet. He's having connection issue. All right. So in a military environment, it's not civilian, it's not private stuff. Even in a private environment here, right? Suggestions you go to where you argue with your supervisor, you go home for that day. You're more likely to go home. Yeah. So in a military environment, you challenge your boss. Come on, man. The man, I mean, I don't know what kind of book they say they learn, what kind of professionalism they know. I don't know, but it's just sad, you know. Yeah, but Sigecha, let's do the last talking point here, unless you get something else to say to what we're talking about with respect to the LDA. If you have any thought on that, go ahead, but it's frustrating, you know.
Yeah, but but I listened to Federico said, you know, if you are a leader, for instance, the way you lead will make people to either they respect you or respect you. True to the fact, and Federico admitted that he recommended him. Now, if Esoteric recommended me for a job and I'm working, it doesn't mean that Esoteric should also disrespect me because he recommended me. Fair enough to say. You know, because you recommend it doesn't mean because you are Federico saying we have been tolerating this for too long. I always saying that in the video. They say enough is enough. So rather there's something that been happening. You know, when like Jomo Kenyatta says, it's a power in the hands of an African is a weapon against their own people. Oh, yeah. So when people get power, they see themselves as all. So maybe the area the man needs to function, for example, as vice for operation, and you know, the man say boss, you know, maybe something like that. But let's see the investigation. In the investigation, I'm told, in fact, they have been called.
Hello? No, you're frozen. Yeah, so Mosigesho said that I agree with him when he said when you are recommended by a boss, it doesn't mean that you should disrespect the person. But we don't have any evidence that AB were disrespecting them. It was just what we're hearing on from the audio, you know. And these guys who they wrote, I mean, a long, about 3 or 4 page document complaining AB, you know. So yeah, they sent a whole long letter to, I think, the minister. And all of that, they listed things, how the man is hiring his country people and do different things. Let me bring Sigesha back here. Yeah, the guys are Sigesha, I was just following through what you just said. You know, I agree that the fact that I recommended you, it doesn't mean that I should disrespect you. Yeah, Patrick.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry for the inconvenience, man.
It's okay. I mean, we understand that that's a rescue mission going on right now. Yeah.
But Patrick, you also put that the government, man. You in darkness, the government is up there.
Yeah, man. So on the LDA issues, esoteric and psychiatrists, is very serious. But what the case was or is, I mean, in the military or paramilitary, there is no disadvantage. The first thing the other guys need to understand. And so I'm not too sure they have any understanding of paramilitary science, because there is no disadvantage at all. You cannot say I'm disadvantaged by my superior officer. That's why they come and would say there is no NOSA in the military. Yeah. In fact, if you read through the 11 general orders from 1 to 11, if you read through carefully, there is nothing there that calls for submission by the head or by the superior officer. So, in fact, in a military or paramilitary, it is always said, duty before complaint. Submit. You must submit before complaint. So I think the guys, I think it was just shameful. I think it also brought us on insubordination based on our proximity. Because what happens is that some people feel that proximity, gives them a leverage over people who they are, who they are serving with. It happened in the case of Gregory Coleman, right, when he was at the Investment Commission, right? Maybe there were some citizens who felt that he was not an original citizen. For example, maybe he came to drink their milk. All right, he came to the commission to enjoy what they fought for. So so he was facing setback and kickbacks from all sides. But then all he did was to resign. All right. So I think there's the same thing happening within the LDEAD. Perhaps maybe the subordinates think that command does not have any legitimacy, real legitimacy to the rescue mission or to the rescue team. So maybe they could show some form of insubordination or whatever. They tried to do, but I think it was very, very unprofessional on their part. Whatever the case was, no matter how grieved they were or how disadvantaged they have been over the time, all they needed to have done was to take a professional path, right as they have started writing. Write the president, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the president, write the justice ministry, maybe just keep writing, but not to say, no, your boss said, lay down your arm. He said, no, I can't lay down my arm. You have no right. Like in the video, somebody was saying that nobody, nobody.
Patrick, like you're right. Just to supplement what you said, and I want us to go to the last thing before we leave for the day. So, like you rightly indicated, in the military or in the paramilitary organization, even in any organization, you have a chain of command, right? That you have to go through. If you have any issue, you got a whole step that you can go through. But for these guys to just wake up and just flagrantly, start to attack their boss and show this kind of arrogance and disrespect. I don't know. Wasn't a military understand? I don't know. You challenge your boss as they did in that video. I'm like, wow, you serious? Wait, this is not democracy, military or paramilitary. Whatever the boss tells you, you must do it. You got to obey what your boss says. Other than that, you either get dismissed or something. But the guys, Liberia is a different land. When you go there, whatever you know before or you are doing in the West, in the United States or whatever you're from, you throw all of that in the trash and you just do your own thing. That's what the guys do in Liberia. But from superficially not knowing all the details, from what I heard from the audio, the guys, the subordinates, they were engaging into pure insubordination. That was very disrespectful to the authority of the man. Number one, he told you no weapon in my office or in the meeting, and you challenged the man. Look at the guy here. They keep doing it in the USA, but hey, that's Liberia. When they go there, everybody does their own thing. You can see it everywhere. So what is done on the street, it reflected in government offices and different buildings in the country. Because you see the street in the first place, the traffic, no regulation, the drivers, everybody doing their own thing. So, hey, the same thing goes in offices. People do anything they want to do. They say whatever they want to say. No structure in place. Nobody is held accountable. And I think Segesha was saying something, oh, the Yeri Roma, they want to take the men and put them in different area. What? And that's part of the problem in the country. Because when people do wrong things, you reshuffle them, you put them in different areas. When you're wrong, if you don't perform wherever you are, you rude, you don't do your job, you get fired. You can go to a different agency and look for a different job. They don't put you somewhere else. What you did over there is not right to warrant a promotion or to transfer you. No, whatever you did is wrong. It's ridiculous, and you are unprofessional. You don't send a man somewhere else. That would not make the person to be professional. No, that's not what you do it. So, and that's, I mean, I've seen in Liberia, they tend to, the person is not working in this position, then they send a man to another ministry. I was like, what is going on here? They call it reshuffle. You reshuffle people. It's another form of corruption. Somebody is not performing, or the person is rude in another department, the person will remain the same. Changing the man's environment does not change the nature of the man. And so Liberia got to understand these things. When you don't perform here, you should not be sent to another ministry. It does not make sense. It does not. The ministry, the location you are sending the person does not make the person to perform. It does not make the person professional. No. And also we keep making these things, I will not call it mistake, the same blunder over and over and again. And the country is 100, almost 77 years. And we are doing the same thing over and over. And we are looking for different results. We are saying, oh, this will rescue the country. No, it does not rescue the country. When you keep doing the same wrong, applying the same wrong logic and the same principle over and over, you don't get different results. You don't get different results from that. Patrick, welcome back.
Yeah. So esoteric. I mean, it's just a whole wide of complex and multidimensional issues we are faced with here. You know, if I in a normal environment, my man, like the military, or maybe we see the paramilitary in Liberia, it is even wrong to should I say, discriminate, use discriminatory comments, or reference people to their past because of disagreement. You don't do it in a professional environment. So, for example, if I disagree with you, you can't tell me, say, oh no, you Patrick, you got your bunch of people who were fighting for you.
Right.
I mean, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that in an environment. You don't tell people. You don't send people to that. You don't remind them of their past. Even if Koma was part of the war, or maybe he was a Ulimoke fighter. I mean, in a professional way. I mean, you don't do that. You don't label people because of they disagree with you or you disagree with them. And I think. The president will take the right decision. I mean, the one that in the best interest of the country. But I think the whole approach towards job fighting in this country, I mean, it needs to be changed. Esoteric. It needs to be changed. The whole method is not working. The whole idea is not working. In fact, the idea is enriching people, at the expense of society and the young people who are even being addicted. It's wrong. The whole idea going after people, you catch them, you catch them, you talk about the whole. I mean, they give you a few. I mean, they report few items that they have in stock. And then I say, yeah, we catch Joe, we arrest. The whole thing is not working as a terror. It's a scam. Yeah,
let's talk about this last talking point here for the day. I was thinking which is good for Liberia, socialism or capitalism. I want to talk about this before we close for the day. I want you to maybe opine on it first. Capitalism and socialism, which is good for Liberia?
My brother, either is good for Liberia based on the implementing policies. My man, capitalism is good. In fact, oh my God,
Okay?
God, man. Oh.
Hey, Patrick. All right, so that's my take. Patrick will come back, hopefully. Hello? All right, I will come back. But the last thing that we want to talk about on the show today is capitalism and socialism, which is good for Liberia. Personally, I think in my view, let's see what I can be. I don't think to shout here. So my opinion on the topic of the last thing that we want to talk about, socialism and capitalism, which is good for Liberia. I think when you try, it's almost the same thing as we were discussing about the policies currently in the country. There are certain things that we are doing that are not working, and we continue to do them. And so since the inception of Liberia, the policy in Liberia has not been a communist or a socialist country. Liberia has been a capitalist country because she an ally or considered a grandson or the uncle, the nephew of America. So there has been Liberia has not been considered a socialist country. Okay. And first of all, before we even go further, let's try to define the terminology. What is socialism and what is capitalism? All right. The question of what is socialism is a tough question to address. First of all, there is no one socialism. There are socialisms because they got different forms. Okay. So socialism, cruelly or basically defined, is a economic system in which we are. I mean, again, it got different forms, so I don't know which way to go. But what I would do in order to define it is to give the different forms of capitalism or socialism. So you have a form of socialism where the private enterprise, where the market is being governed by, been led by private citizens, right? And the form of socialism will come in and say, you know what, instead of having the private citizens run everything, will bring the government in to regulate the market. So the government will get involved. That's a form of socialism, because they get the government involved so that, because the essence of capitalism or the free market is whatever you get, whatever the profit, whatever the business, the person that is doing the business gets, he takes everything to himself or to herself. So we said the socialists said no, let's get the government involved, so the government will be able to regulate, so that the government will be able to at least take taxes from these businesses to help society. Okay, that's one form. Another form of socialism says, okay, you know what? All the means of production, all the enterprises, the government should take charge of them and run them. Let the government run all those things, and the resources generated is the share among the people. That's one form of socialism, where the government takes charge of all the means of production, all the enterprises, and the government divides the resources among the people. Another form of socialism is what they call democratic socialism, where in a workplace, they say, you know what? Instead of the boss or the bosses making all the decisions, let us vote. Let all the employees have a say in, say, for example, if we produce profit, whatever we do, the profit, let all of us have a say. Let us vote. That's one form of socialism. So the three major forms of socialism now that are competing around the world. So they got the workplace socialism, where they say the people should vote. The employee should be given the right to vote. That's one form. And the other form is where the government takes charge of the means of production. All the inner process, the government should take charge and run it and make sure the resources are divided among the people. And the other one say, okay, let's leave the private enterprises in place. Let the private citizen run let the economy be privately run. But the government should get involved and take taxes and use the taxes to help the people. That's one form. Now, we are talking about, the question is capitalism good for Liberia or socialism? And I'm arguing that capitalism is bad for Liberia, because for the past 177 years, we have had capitalism in Liberia. Again, capitalism is nothing but private citizen running the economy. If you have your company, whatever you produce, the boss man, the owner of that company, takes all that profit, which I think is wrong in that what Liberia has been in that. That's why we have Firestone in Liberia, for example, and the employees are paid little or nothing because it's capitalism. The owner of that entity carries everything, even though he does not produce anything. The only thing he has is decision-making power. He has the resources, whatever the profit, the employees, the work they produce, whatever they produce, the resources, the profit generated from that, the boss man takes everything. The employees, they get nothing. And that's what Liberia has been at. So you have the foolers, the business people over there, they employ the Liberian man, the janitor, whatever the position they give them, they pay them little or nothing, because capitalism is about profit. They don't care about the employees, they don't care about the environment. No, it's all about profit making. And so for 177 years, we have had capitalism in Liberia. Yeah, they are still struggling to come. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
So let me hear my thought. So I was just giving my thought on capitalism and socialism, which is good for Liberia, right?
Yeah. So
I'm arguing that I think it's Einstein who told us the definition of craziness: doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? For almost 177 years, we have had capitalism in Liberia. And the condition of the people cannot change, because the resources of the country have been sucked out of the country. We have Firestone, they signed a 9-year contract and those things. And all the reason capitalism exists is to make profit. It's profit motive. They don't get time for Patrick. They don't get time for the environment. No, they don't get time. What they do, why do they pollute the environment? That capitalists don't care. They want their profit. They can employ children. They don't care. The idea, they want anything that will bring them money. So that's why when you see the economic system of slavery, for example, it was driven by capitalistic motive, because the people want profit. So they make human beings to be machines to work in the factory or on the plantation, and the slave masters get all the resources to themselves. The same thing in feudalism. So capitalism is not good for Liberia, because if you look at the businesses in Liberia, the Liberians that are working, stores, the factory, what I would get factory in Liberia is another thing. But those people that are working, they get little or nothing. That's why, because the owner of that company wants profit. They want to get all the resources so they can establish another business to get more profit. So I think capitalism is bad for Liberia. Socialism will be a good one for Liberia. You see, that what Libya was doing good in Africa, because Libya was the only socialistic country that I know in Africa. And that's why America fought hard to break it down, because Gaddafi was using the resources of the country to help the people. Whereas Liberia is America ally, they see Liberia to be America baby. So that capitalism. So you have President Trump and the people that have open door policy. People will just come and take all the resources from the country. And now Liberia, the way it is. So we need to redefine our system of government. We have to try socialism now. State capitalism has failed for 177 years. We got to start socialism. And let the resources be distributed, and let those businesses they pay taxes, and let the taxes be used for the uplifting of the people, to build roads. But when the people make the money, they take it and carry it to India, those different companies. What you call Simeco been there forever. I don't know how much they pay in taxes. You don't know. So it is time for, I think, the state. But again, we have to have the right leaders first. Because the way things are, if you change the system and make it socialistic, and you put the power, the means of production in the hands of the corrupt leaders, it will be worse. The guys will cater to themselves. So first of all, we have to have the right leaders in power before we change the system of government in the country. But as is right now, capitalism has failed. As a matter of fact, capitalism has failed all around the world. Okay, it failed. Go to Nigeria. Nigeria is a mess. Go to all the African countries. The capitalism failed because the people use that to go and exploit the resources. They use the people and they take all those things from Africa. So it's time to change the system. Yes, it was working. Gaddafi was doing well for his people in Libya. And the people fought in the Obama then killed that man some money. All right. Did he do everything right? No. Hey, Patrick. Hello? Hello? All right, he's trying to join the conversation still, but I'm wrapping it now. So I personally think it's time to look in different direction. But again, before we change the system of government in Liberia, we have to change those leaders. Those leaders are horrible. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, I want to follow my way out your normal so that because the internet is not working.
I agree.
Yeah. So you're preparing. Have you talk?
Yeah, go ahead. Say you are on the phone. You can just you can give your contribution on the topic. Which is good for Liberia, socialism or capitalism?
So esoteric, color will be good based on the right knowledge, the right application, and innovation. So, for example, capitalism has been a very good system. It has worked perfectly in other countries. But where you reside right now, it's capitalism that transformed that country into a paradise on earth.
No, it's not, Patrick. That's not true. No, but go ahead. I don't want you to put that information that it's capitalism that made America to be where it is. No. What?
Yeah, Liberia borrowed that system from America. It didn't just fall into that area. The point I'm making is that it can be as good or as bad based on who is mentioned or what the ideas are. So, for example, capitalism, it's a kind of system that provides choice to an individual, or to a group of people. Entirely different from the state. All right, so it can be a partnership, the state doing their thing, the people doing their thing, or the people doing his thing, and something like that. But the point is, what would it profit Liberia, for example, if you introduce socialism right now?
Mm-hmm.
When the country in itself, in its existence has failed. So it's only countries that are prosperous or that are well off in status, in advancement. Yes, like you are making reference to Libya. Okay, So Liberia can be a better country provided who is implementing what and what kind of policy. So let me take you back to let's use Reagan's formula or Reagan's policy as a case study here. All right. Let's look at Reaganomics. Reaganomics, was Reagan's own formula to resuscitate the American economy when it was crumbling. In fact, when it was nearly crumbled, and America was going to a zero economy. So you got the right man putting in the right idea. So economic transformation comes with mathematical formulation. So Reaganomics say, okay, Reagan said, this thing is falling apart. Well, we cannot let it fall apart. So what we do here? Let's cut that government spending. So, for example, the Liberia project is 700 million. Out of 700 million, each representative or senator is taking a car valued at $90,000 for. We don't know how much each military car cost or how much each person in the judiciary that car costs. But what we know is that each member of the legislature said that their vehicle costs $90,000. So you calculate that amount of money to get a national budget, and you can save us the national wage bill has gone. The national wage bill on the last time when President Weir, for example, was more than 70,000. In Reaganomics, Reagan said, no, we cannot. We have to keep the wage bill down. To a level that the commensurate with the economic reality of the country. So we'll not spend more money. We'll reduce federal budget, we'll do tax cuts, we'll do this, we'll do that. All those ideas and put it into place, and what happened? You saw the turnaround, you saw the resuscitation, you saw how the American economy became revived, and today it is now
Patrick, I think Patrick, the Reaganomics.
So in Liberia, for example, then we have people applying such ideas, for example, maybe like 700 million. That is not even $1 billion, for example, but you got 50% or 60% going to servicing, paying civil servants, pay for government services and everything. So if you kind of guys talking about being, let's see the payroll, let's see the government wage bill from 6,000 maybe to 40,000. The rest of the people we send it to factories, we send it to different industries, we send it to the agricultural sector, we buy tractors, we buy machines, we put them there. Let them go and work and make money for themselves. So into the private sector. All right. What will happen? So for instance, the Constitution in 6, it should be Article 6 and Article 7. It says that the state shall make, shall utilize the natural resources for the equitable distribution of the natural resources amongst Liberian people. For example, what is FDA doing here? What is FDA is going around collecting money from logging companies. So you don't need a logging company to come from India or from Malaysia to come and explore Liberian resources here. The legislature can pass, can create an agency responsible for logging activities on a government, maybe as a state-owned enterprise, for example.
Yeah, but Patrick, then you're going my direction. That's socialism.
Yeah, that's socialism, but it will not be entirely. So you can take some for socialism, for example. You can take small thing for socialism. You take small thing from capitalism, you combine it, and you form your own policy. That's not the point I'm making. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, Patrick. So that Patrick, yes, you talk about Reaganomics, right? And I think you're a good reader. You follow American history. You follow their politics. So, but you have to understand. You read about Roosevelt, right? Okay, Roosevelt was a socialist. You gotta understand that. During the Great Depression, he put a lot of socialistic policy in place. Because what happened was, Roosevelt himself was a rich guy, right? So when he finds out the economy was getting bad, because the capitalists, they were sitting on all the money, the rich guys. So he calls his body to meeting. He said, guys, this, because at the time America also had these you got social organization in the country, you had community organization in the country, or parties in the country, right? So these parties were exerting pressure on Roosevelt, right? So in order for Roosevelt to get himself from the quandary he was in, and the country was getting bad, so what he did was he called a rich guy to a meeting. He said, you know what? These communists and socialists in this country, they are talking about revolution. So if we don't do something, these guys will take over the country. So we have to find a way to create a balance for the people to get care. So he went to them. Roosevelt was a smart politician, so that he went and took money from these guys to put some of those social programs in so they had. So when he did that, he called those socialists. He said, "Oh, I'll make a deal with these rich guys. We'll get these parties will get, say for example, when you are unemployed, when you don't have a job, we have unemployment security for people." So he put all these different programs in place. So the socialists and the communists say, okay, that's a deal. That's how you went to the guy, he got the money and put those programs in place. So after Roosevelt left, the likes of Reagan that you are talking about right now, they're trying to roll back those programs. So when you hear about government cutting spending, right? When they cut spending, what they're doing, they go to Social Security. Those programs that are helping the little man, that while Reagan, they were cutting, and they take the money and give it back to the rich guys. Because you have to understand, they took the money from the rich people and they were not happy about it. So they want the money back. So they roll back some of the programs that are helping the poor people. And that's why we have up to this point. Up to this point, they have been rolling back some of the programs. It is even under Obama that you have universal health care, right? First in the country, partly if you have what they call pre-existing condition, they will not insure, you will not get health insurance. Yeah. Because before you get health insurance, they will do all the different evaluation. Once you have a health problem, before you go to a healthcare company, they will not hire you, or they will not give you health insurance. You see? So it's about the guys. Someone else talk about Reaganomics and those guys, they are terrible people. Reagan was a bad guy economically. He was for the rich guys.
So I mean, I wasn't saying the same thing, but because
No, we are not saying the same thing. You are talking about Reagan cut taxes and give it back to the rich people. All right, and he cut in those social programs for the poor people. He cut those programs. The result was, again, the guy was pro-business, right? So when he took the money and gave it back to the rich people, so the rich guys, they were able to open businesses, and they hire you and myself, and they give you little or nothing because it's about profit. So they want to make money. And besides that, I mean, yeah, they were all about creating business so they give the money back to them, because the philosophy is, when you take money from Patrick, who is a business owner, and you take more taxes from him, Patrick, you will not expand his business. So out of you don't allow Patrick to pay taxes, and he'll build more companies, he'll build more factories, and you'll hire people, which is a myth. And that's why America is going down right now. You know what they do in order to compete with China, even though they say that private enterprise, but the government is the one that pumping billions of dollars to those public companies in order to compete, because China, their government, is communist, right? It's socialist. So the government is the one that does everything. They pumping the money into their companies, and whatever they're running, all their state enterprises, the government pumping money. Private citizens cannot compete with government. So what the guy America is doing is say, oh, you know what? In order to meet the Chinese, we have to give General Motors or our companies here. The government will give them billions of dollars. But you said a private enterprise. Why are you giving public money to a private company? Why are you doing that? You know, so that's what we are talking. So capitalism is not for you and myself, Patrick.
yeah, okay, but we are using it right now, and socialism could be a good project as I said. If it takes control of the economy, and then reduces the fluctuation of all these, German businesses we have around here, exporting people, bridging some of the cartels we have here, it will be a good thing. But my point is that Liberia in its own existence is a failed state. So I mean,
why did Liberia fail? You have you analyzed? Have you done the analysis why Liberia has failed? Because this is a part of, I'm not calling you, because you have a family, for example, the Togo, right? They took the country to be their private entity. So they have all the resources going to, because it's capitalism, okay? The guys are all about building their own enterprises. And also you have somebody get the other company in their family member is the board member, the other one is the one, they make all the decisions. So what we are saying is, partly look around the world, look around Africa. All the countries are in Africa, they are all capitalistic, they failed. So capitalism is not working. In America, in partly, one of the companies, the racial company, is called Amazon. The owner of it is called Jeff Bezos. That guy is sitting on billions of dollars, and the people that work for him, partly, they can't afford to go to the send their children to school. Think about it. The guy, when he got divorced, his wife became the 27 or the 37th richest woman in the world because she took some of the money from him. Think about it. So the guys are sitting on mountain of money, and the people that work for them, they can't even afford to go to school. That's how bad it is. That's what capitalism is not working. That's why the war is. See the war. See. I mean, why you think they're looking up to China now? Why people go to Germany? They are socially countries. Those countries that are socially countries. France. Those are socially countries. The only successful capitalist country in the world, they're America. And you know why, Patrick? Because they suppress the socialists, the communist parties are in the country. The people that wanted to, and you heard about the McCarthy era, right? These are things, they purge people that got different views just so that they can maintain power, the capitalists. That's what they do. So they kill those socialists, they kill the communists, they put them in prison, and so they can maintain, few persons can have the economic power in the country, So
you agree with me when I was in my opening statement when I said capitalism transformed America into paradise. Now you come back to...
No, when you say what is a paradise when the majority are suffering? It's not a paradise.
I mean, poverty exists everywhere. Poverty exists everywhere. But the situation in America, it exists in Africa, but nobody wants to go to America. Nobody wants to go to America. Okay. And that's a question. So in Liberia, for example, we can begin to think about socialism. First of all, if we can even afford just one good meal a day. Just one good meal a day. Right? Just one good. I'm not saying 2 meals. No, I'm not saying one good meal a day.
Okay.
Liberians can afford, the average Liberian can afford one good meal a day. Then, of course, you can begin to say, yeah, I think we can get somewhere. But in the past, it's a good nation that cannot feed herself, right?
Right.
I mean, you got a group of guys, say somewhere as a syndicate, controlling the entire economy.
Yeah, but Patrick, again, you are making my point, Patrick.
Let me this point. Even though we say yes, we have a capitalist system, but in actual context, it seems to be almost like a socialist system because who controls the economy here? I mean, almost like the government goes to deal with.
No, Patrick, why you think the president recently called the rice sellers? Why? They're mixed up. Some are Liberian, some are not. Okay, so that Patrick, then you are making my point. Okay, so Patrick, that's my point. Why you think the president called them? Because they control the economy. The president does not control it. So he called because they want to raise the prices, right? They want to raise the price, right? And the president said, yeah, because they want to make profit. Even though people are struggling, but they say, you know what, we'll raise the price. And the president got a corner and said, no, you can't do it. So we are saying, I don't know why you're capitalists, but for those who are socialists, we are saying, Patrick, socialism is not for human being, or it's not for the little man. It's for the guy. Socialist, capitalist is not there to say, we want to build roads, we want to give health care to people. No, their sole purpose is to get profit. That's it. They don't give up. Yeah, they don't give a damn about you and myself. And that's what. So you see why in a capitalistic society, you always have people unemployed. They can't employ everybody. It's a strategy. Because the strategy is, because the socialists are saying, let's put everybody to work. But the capitalists will say, no. You know why? Because when they employ everybody, then they will not have what they call the bully puppet. So when you go to work right now and they tell you to do something and you protest, no one will fire you because somebody out there waiting that want the job, you know? So they put this strategy in place. Certain people will work and certain people will be without job, you know? So that when Patrick protests on the job, they will fire Patrick and bring Madison in, you know? Because Madison desperate for job. So he will take any deal. Right. So, Patrick, so capitalism is another form of slavery. So, if you look at the historical progression, right, if you read the economic system, you read about them, capitalism is no different. So, in slavery, in slavery, you have the masters and the slaves, right? The masters are in a minority, but they control the majority who are the slaves, right? That's slavery. When you look at the other economic system, they call feudalism. In feudalism, the laws, where you got the word land law from, right? The land laws, they own the land. The laws are in a minority, but they control the majority called the serfs. The serfs, you know. The same thing in capitalism, the employees are in the majority, but they are controlled by the employers who are in the minority. In the same system, Patrick, in feudalism, the laws, they are in the minority, they make all the decisions. The slave in the majority, they don't make any decision. The same thing in slavery, the law, not the law, but the master, they are in the minority, but they make all the decisions. The slave in the majority, they don't make any decision. In capitalism, it's the same thing. The owner of the company, the employers, they make all the decisions, and the employees in the majority, they don't make any decision. So you can see it's the same economic structure, and now what Karl Marx is criticizing capitalism, because socialism is a criticism of capitalism. Yeah, it's capitalism that gave birth to socialism. But normally the mistake people make, Patrick, communism is the target of the socialists. It's an end result. So they are saying we want to make, for example, we want free education for Patrick. We want free healthcare for Patrick. We want, I mean, so they put all the policies they want, when everything, all the policies, everything is implemented, when the society is working finally, where nobody will be suppressing anybody, then at that point it's called communism. So because the word communist from the word and the word communism and the word community, they got the same root. So community, we are working as a community, right? So we should be able to share. We have to share the resources, you know. So part of the kind of socialism that we need in Liberia is what we call workplace democracy, right? We need democracy in the workplace, because that capitalism, America, for example, they say they are a democracy, right? But Patrick does not have the right to vote at work. Patrick can vote for the president, the vice president, the senator, all the government officials. But when it comes to the working place, Patrick cannot vote. Then the question is why? The reason is the guys want to get all the money in their pocket. So they say, Patrick, you don't have any say, the employee should not vote. The boss man will decide, the king at the top. All right? The king in the marshal or wherever he's sitting, he will make the decision. The king. So it's Patrick, the capitalism is terrible economic policy. It's terrible. So we can't do that in it's time to end it in Liberia. But before we do that, Patrick, let's change the leaders. I agree with you on that part. Because the leaders are terrible. So when you give all the resources to them again, they will start balling. All right, so if you have any thought, just give it so we can end for the day. All right, guys. Tim Patrick is off. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for joining us today on Voice of SINOE. We're just talking about which economic system. We're talking different things. What is good for Liberia? All we are doing, we're brainstorming what is good for our country. You know, we can't continue to do the same thing over and over. A few persons are enjoying the country, and the majority are suffering. You know, because of whatever we borrow from the West, whatever the Western countries do, we must do it. Let's do our own thing for once. Let's start to think for ourselves for once. You know, you got the government officials there. Some of them, they are in government just to have their private businesses, and they employ people and they give them little or nothing. That system is not working. All right, guys. I want to say thank you for joining us today and have a good day. We're out. We have join us next Wednesday, next Thursday, to continue with discussion.